This is what we're looking for today, Fairford Station. This is as it was back in the day. Right, well, I've pulled off to the side of the road then, just outside Fairford, and that's where the railway crossed. Let's see if we can see where the approach was. Well, this is pathetic, but it's the best I can do. Through this hedge, you can see a hedge at the back, and that is the approach road, or that's the railway approaching Fairford, if you like. Complete with fence posts. We'll get a better shot on there. See those posts in the distance? So that's the hedge then by the telegraph pole on the right. Comes across there. Then we skip across the main road and it lines up there. This is now an industrial estate on this side. There's both sides of the railway actually. That side is one. And that's the other side. And the railway is actually through this bank. Possibly it was in this ditch. Which has the railway then following the line of the trees, or the line of the trees follow the railway, whichever way you want it. Way down there. I'll have some proof here. Well, that needs a bit of rail, raw gauge rail, out of the fence post. There's a lovely line of concrete posts. Fairford Station then. Right, now there's a marshalling yard at the end. That's our only chance, I think. Let's go and take a look. So this is our next venue then. And rather bumpy lane. Fairford Town Football Club. Riding the trailhead then for this next section. Hoping to find a bit of rail. Thanks guys. Off in this direction. Off in this direction, try not to trip over my feet. Big old chestnut here, I think, isn't it? On the side. Yeah, nice little track. I'm looking for a crossroads, this might be it. And we could be on the railway. Say could. It heads off down there. If this is the railway, I think it was just a little extension into town. Didn't go any farther. We're going this way. It takes us back towards the site of the station. So we pick anything else up. Fairly modern bit of fencing there. We'll ignore that. There's a ditch either side of this track. So I'm guessing we're on the actual rail here. The rail bed. Looking for a more definite clue. They're few and far between. The railway did close quite early, didn't it? So the bits have gone. Remains of a 5-bar gate in there, if you can make it out. There isn't anything on the other side, so this isn't an accommodation crossing. It's like they're cutting the grass in the football stadium. Right, so that's attached to an old sleeper post, I think it is. And the other end is missing. Interesting. Right, this is the other side, and you can just make out the line of the trees there. We've been walking down the old track. If we look right into the distance, we can just about make out the roof of the industrial buildings that we were looking at earlier on. And it rather looks as if they've built a housing estate over our railway then. I think, we'll see. So a little ways down the track, and that's railway, which was the boundary, I suppose. There must have been a right of way or something. Good mixture of old and new there. The old broad gauge rail and the new concrete posts. It looks like a kissing gate arrangement, doesn't it? And they haven't used rail for the gate uprights. Gosh, it's a bit extravagant. So we're finding bits and pieces then of what's left. Field of wheat. No railway through there. Lovely old fence arrangement, isn't it? Thought out by somebody, designed by somebody, and built by somebody else. Now by the side of the track there's a turn off here. I think this might be the remains of our marshalling yard. Don't know. I don't know why it's up in the air. Let's go take a look. Well, a bit dank in here. Oh, a playground, BMX track. Right. Oh. Scanning for any signs. Very few found. Well, I think I'll carry on looking about. I'll let you know if we find anything. I keep it as close to the edge as I can, because that's where we'll find fence posts. There's a modern fence down there, but so far nothing else. Well, over the hedge of the industrial units that we were at to start with. Oops, it's all over the place. So no point going any farther that way then. We'll carry on round and see if we can find anything else. Backtrack a bit. Oh. Someone's got a tree house, it looks like. There's a wooden truss there. Got a sort of modern joining plate on it. Oh. Sort of thing the railway might have used in their buildings. I thought maybe that was the remains that had been knocked down. Maybe not. Right, monkey bars. I could show you how to do this, but unfortunately I haven't brought my tripod. Oh, never mind. Beneath us then would be the site of the old rails, marshalling yard, loading docks. It's all being kind of built up, it looks like. But that's the spoil from the buildings we've just been looking at. Possible, I guess. Oh, up on the bank, just to the side here, are a couple of quarter sleeper posts. Good. That one standing there, all naked and alone. Where's his colleague, if we spin across? We go up. Trees taking it over. Ah, well, that's a railway though, isn't it? Part of the Fairford station complex. Good. And just there's a girder, U-form. That's nothing to do with railway, I wouldn't have thought. Quite what that's doing standing there, I don't know. But that's on the opposite side of the road, of the ditch then, to the fence post. And I reckon this for standing on here is another line. Heads off down there. Fence posts all the way down here. So we found the perimeter then. Good. Well, eventually that brings us to here, which is almost where we started. We've circumnavigated the marshalling yard as was. Looking behind me, that's where it was. So I think you can see the problem for trying to find anything. But we got some fence posts. What more could you ask for? Some rail, you're right. Never mind. So we're nearly done. Let's see if we can make a nice walk now. That's the line of our railway. Didn't have to bite the trees. We're going back on ourselves now. And, well, we were. That's not very helpful. What if we can walk outside the fence? Looks like you can. Give it a shot. Oh, I'm sure you're not the first one to attempt it. Well, it's a bit mad here because there's fencing all around, but you can just step through it. It's a bit odd. Anyway, we're heading for some of the gravel pits, some of the lakes. Take a look. There's a swarm here of dragonflies. Right, friends? Collected now, a swarm of dragonflies. I'm not clear if you can see them or not. The viewfinder's not that good. And now we've made it lakeside. A little bit of breeze coming off there. And the grebe stuck out in the middle. Oh, that's quite attractive, isn't it? More dragonflies, hundreds of them. Well, there's a wonder of nature. A good sight or not. Maybe got cleared up, I suppose. I guess I'll have to show you this route on the map. If anybody wants to attempt it. Another one of these charming green tunnels. Very good. Just to there on our left. Into lake. The dark, dank pool. I'm hoping we're going to come on the River Churn sooner or later. I'm also hoping to stay on this side of it. And we'll decide the plan. I think we're supposed to glean something from this long tall post. Quite what, I'm not sure. A footbridge. Just a quick look at the churn before we go back our way. I was looking downstream then. They do trout fishing in here, I don't see much. Very nice looking upstream. Well, I'm glad we filmed the churn there because it looks as if this path has taken us away from it. It's taken us around the lake but away from the churn. Sure it didn't look like that on the map. You might just be able to hear it bubbling away in the background, somewhere beyond those trees. Oh, we'll have to be content with this. Not a bad second place. Another one of these information posts here, look. I suppose that in its day could have been an actual telephone wire post, telegraph pole. It's a very long way from the other ones, if it is. I just heard something go plop. Jumping about in there. Dog rose to brighten up the path. Smells gorgeous. Along with a bit of clover and a few buttercups. Not lovely. And there was focus on them, they're only cheapo. No, I didn't want to know. My gosh, it's gone humid. Is that or I'm overheating? Could be either. Maybe the vegetation closed in on us. Now, in theory, we should come out the other side of where it said path closed. I only hope they haven't made a better job of closing it on this side, because if they have, we're heading back the way we've just come. That won't be very popular. Nice open area here. And the path slightly curves round to the left. On the other side of the lake, I can see the fencing. So we're about to learn our fate then. Then somehow we've got to get on to the other side. All the way along there. Quite. Not walking too bad, so I reckon I'm going to make this. There are footprints here, some of them fairly fresh. And of course that's not to say they're not doing what I'm doing, and perhaps I had to come back. Shut up. Oh wow, that's a stroke of luck. If that was closed, we'd be in trouble. So far so good. So what are they doing? I don't know, you tell me. Not very much. Well, I don't quite know why they want to keep you out of there, I'm sure. Well, we've been all around there. So now we just have to complete the last leg. Parkinson's is holding up. Right, well, let's see where this takes us then. What the joys we got in store for us here. Now, do we follow the fence, or do we branch out across there? I'm following the fence, I know where that ends up. I wonder what it costs per panel to rent this lot then. Boy, I'll get a move on with their construction, I would have thought. Obviously whoever did that's not paying for it. Signs of some work being done at last. And a clue. Plot number 7. The lakes, whoops, sorry, reserved. And down there the ways. Plot number 9. Reserved. Oh, it's a housing development. There's a surprise. If I come this way again, this will probably all be built on. Well, we're not done walking yet. We've got to somehow get to the end of this field. Over there. There's only one way to do it. Come on, let's go. Oh, this wasn't what we wanted at this stage of the walk. An untrodden path. That's better. We can open the taps now. Increase speed from half a mile an hour to 3/4. Wow. Ooh, a bit of breeze, that's nice. On the other side of that sign, it says, which is where we came in. So, a complete circumnavigation of the lake completed. Now, what we're going to do now is find the car. Right, well, I'm not going up that. I don't know what this looks like on camera, but it's vertical. Oh, going up there. There's a track here. A bit convoluted, but providing it takes us back to where we came from, and it should. And we're in the money. Ah, there's Good path there. Right. Staggering a bit. We have rhythm going. There we go, back to our gate. So now we know where we are then. Just going to follow the line of trees to the turn off to the football stadium field. Before I sign off, I did promise you a look at the map, didn't I? So if I can work this out, here's our railway coming in. There's Fairford station. We're now currently parked here at the football ground, and we walked along there, round past, this is where the new estate was, down to the River Churn, and then followed this footpath all the way around back to there, I think. Right then, well, assuming you didn't try to get lost, maybe I'll see you on the next one.